Yesterday, we are told that another governor of the People's Democratic Party, Governor Ademola Adeleke, Osun State, has gone the way of Nyesom Wike and Ṣeyi Makinde and some other governors of the People's Democratic Party who, while remaining in the PDP, declared and still declare support for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In 2023, Nyesom Wike, the then governor of Rivers State, and Ṣeyi Makinde of Oyo State, both of them under the platform of the People's Democratic Party, supported the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu while remaining in the People's Democratic Party and enthroning or supporting the gubernatorial candidate of the PDP. And now the re-election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coming. Some PDP governors have decamped outrightly into the All Progressives Congress of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while some others like Nyesom Wike and Ṣeyi Makinde and now Ademola Adeleke, while remaining in the PDP, declare support for the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What common Nigerians must not lose sight of is that there's nothing to expect from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who vowed to continue in the footsteps of Muhammadu Buhari, or rather Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan, Muhammadu Buhari. The three presidents. One, Yar'Adua started the war against the Boko Haram Muslim community, perpetuated by Goodluck Ebele Asikwe Jonathan. And Muhammadu Buhari added herdsmen terrorism, while President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sustaining all and sundry and added his own. All subsidies are gone. So, which of these makes for progress of a nation? So, and all subsidies are gone. You are sinking Nigeria in debts. Workers are receiving less than living wage. And what is happening to the subsidies that you say are gone? You claim to be transferring funds to indigent households, while Nigerians don't know which indigent household you are transferring funds to. Tinubu is saying in a recent video that, or rather is accusing governors of not giving money to poor masses, while they are getting plenty of money from the federal allocation. So, which poor masses are Tinubu himself transferring funds to? And as I keep asking, which nation developed from transferring funds to poor people? Which nation developed from that? Is a government to empower the people or to be feeding the people? So basically, Tinubu is not there. You see it. So, sustaining war against Boko Haram, herdsmen terrorism, declaring all subsidies gone, while paying workers pittance, and sinking the nation in debts. So, common Nigerians must wake up to uh, dump the politicians, the campaign into the All Progressives Congress, or supporting the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Let us remind ourselves about the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari, after which, his re-election, fuel price on his way out in his last years, fuel price skyrocketed. Then the lie that plenty of money was needed to redesign the naira. For whatever reason, nobody knew. Nobody knows. But we know that naira was never redesigned. Only the color was changed. So there's nothing redesigned in the naira other than changing the color. How much did government squander on that is one aspect. Another aspect is the suffering, hardship, agony into which Nigerian populace was subjected because of changing the color of the naira. So Nigerians experienced cash crunch, scarcity of raw cash. Even for the little money that people had in banks, they could not get out the money. Come and see agony. But so this issue of re-election should be reconsidered. But until then, Nigerians must not re-elect another old man sustaining war against Boko Haram, sustaining herdsmen terrorism, declaring all subsidies gone, and sinking Nigeria in debts with worsening mass abject poverty and insecurity. So, on what basis are these governors, these politicians, the campaign, or mobilizing support for the re-election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Nigeria went through that road in 2019 when Buhari was re-elected. To what end? It ended woefully, and there's no Jupiter that can reverse it. So let us be optimistic about the coalition, if only because there's no other way to getting rid of the bad rulers. We keep changing them until they come to their senses and reposition Nigeria for progress. The so-called All Progressives Congress has been retrogressing Nigeria since 2015 till date, giving us old men, Buhari, Tinubu, which is which. Tinubu may be younger than Buhari, but certainly is worse. Because he's an old man too, and he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Whether it's tax reform or transferring funds to indigent households, or removing subsidies from basic necessities of life to subsidize pilgrimages. And that is why I am criticizing Peter Obi to mellow in his religious fanaticism. What created problem for him in Edo State was his fanatical support for the Catholic Church. when he was governor of Anambra State, if only because of the Catholic Church. Well, we heard of the the favors enjoyed by some Catholic institutions, hospitals, and the returning schools to the churches that used to own them. The churches that used to own them. Schools that were taken over decades ago to give free education to Nigerians. Eh? Peter Obi was among the governors that returned such schools. So, which this is religious fanaticism. He must control it. But there's nothing to tell us that he is worse than Tinubu removing subsidies from basic necessities of life to subsidize pilgrimages. But that we want to prepare Peter Obi through critical appraisal of his actions so that the coalition will not go the way of the APC, but not that we leave this government to continue. We should be optimistic that by God's grace, the coalition will do better, especially if we don't stop criticizing them. Now, the Yoruba people say, òkèèrè lolójú jíjìn tí mẹ́kún sun. That means if you have deep eye socket, and you are going to attend a funeral, you should start weeping from afar so that water will come out from your eye by the time you get to the funeral place. So we are not to be deceiving ourselves. Obi is fantastic. There's nobody who is fantastic. We just have to be objective in our comments. The what created a problem for Peter Obi in Edo State was part of being fanatically Catholic, because he went there to attend a function or fundraising ceremony by Saint Philomena Catholic Hospital School of Health Sciences. So it should mellow on religion matters, because our constitution is very clear. There shall be no state religion. So if you don't obey the law of the land, you definitely end up messing up as Nigeria is now. So, but poor people, common people, suffering workers, don't sit on the fence. Support the coalition for change. And let's be optimistic that by God's grace, we get something that the mess being created, being sustained by the so-called All Progressives Congress, which is in fact all retrogressive Congress.